Hey, Tom here from Made by Loop, and in this video I'm going to run through my CODEWORD script for After Effects. CODEWORD is a really useful script for creating this sliding cryptex passwordy style animation in After Effects. It is similar in style to my Numero script, only that's for creating realistic sliding number counters. CODEWORD, on the other hand, as the name suggests, is focused on words. So let's take a look at how it all works. In After Effects then, I have a blank composition already set up, and I have the CODEWORD script panel docked here as well. In the panel, you can see that there's a text box that says Enter Text, a checkbox that says Auto Animate, and finally there's the Create CODEWORD button here as well. So for this example, I'll click into the text box and I'll type Hello World. I'll leave the Auto Animate button checked, and I'll hit the Create CODEWORD button. Instantly, you can see that the script creates a whole bunch of layers, and then what we end up with is this CODEWORD pre-comp with a bunch of random letters and characters here. We also have a mat that's perfectly sized to the text line. If I scrub through the timeline, you can see that each column starts to slide and animate, and as we hit 1 second, everything has fallen into place and we have our Hello World text. And I could then select the CODEWORD pre-comp and move it around if I needed to. So if I just open up the CODEWORD pre-comp, you can see that we have a load of text layers, and there's one here for each column. We also have this control null up here too, which is called the column spacing control. If I click on this, up in the effects control panel, you can see that there's a slider value here. If I change this value, you can see that the spacing between each column is reduced or increased. So if you ever need to change the padding between any of the columns, this is the place to do it. If I now select all the text layers and hit U, you can see that all the animation is powered by these keyframes here on each layer. So if you want to customize any of the easing, perhaps extend the animation out to 2 seconds for example, all you have to do is edit these keyframes and everything will be updated for you. So that's the basics of how the script works. But let's say you wanted to animate between multiple words. Well, I'll just come back into our main comp and I'll delete our previous code word. This time in the script text box, I'll write made, then I'll add 2 dashes, I'll add the word by, then another 2 dashes, and finally I'll add the word loop with an exclamation mark. And I'll hit the button. This time, if I scrub through the timeline, you can see that we start with the word made, then at 1 second we get to by, where it pauses slightly, and finally we get to loop. Again, if I open up the pre-comp, you can see that the animation is all powered by the keyframes on each layer. So if you wanted to extend the pause on a word, for example, or speed up the animation between words, all you have to do is change the keyframes here. So if you ever need to animate between words, all you have to do is use the double dash separator up here in the text box, and the script will do all of the hard work for you, and you'll have a really nice text transition effect in seconds. So far, the style of the code words has all been the same. It's been this blue text and it's been this size. That's because the script uses whatever values you have set up here in the character panel. So if I just delete the previous example, I could then come up here to the character panel. I could then change the font to Antarctican headline, for example, perhaps change the color to white. I'll increase the font size to 400. And I'll apply the auto capitalization setting. This time when I hit the Create CODEWORD button, you can see that the look is entirely different and it matches our settings from the character panel perfectly. So CODEWORD is really flexible when it comes to creating different styles. All you have to do is set your settings in the character panel and the script will take care of everything else. I'll just delete this CODEWORD again. And one last thing to note is that if you turn the Auto Animate checkbox off and enter a single word in the text box, it won't be animated automatically. This is so that you can add your own animations if you wanted to, without the script creating anything for you, which might be useful in certain situations. So there we have it. That's the CODEWORD script for After Effects. Check the link in the description to visit the script page. As ever, if you like this video, do hit like and subscribe, and visit madebyloop.co.uk for more time-saving motion design resources.